Hello, guys. It has been a very turbulent few days. And look at me, and I literally feeling like myself, like this vacuum cleaner. And we just absorb so much like energies from all kinds, right? And then people are like, "Oh, we just want to suck you in. We just want to suck you into the dark." I'm like, I'm just running out of it, and absorb. Yeah, it's been it's been so many things going, and I think each one of us we're seeing this world very differently. We all have our own unique perspectives. And I'm standing on my point with my own unique perspective, which is so different from everyone else. And I don't even have that desire to explain to anyone anymore uh, because it is just quite impossible to let the other people understand from that point of view. But anyway, all is good. What I want to really express is that I kind of feel that howsoever the situation is challenging, but bit by bit, we're it, changing the frequency on the planet bit by bit. And it's not a fast food, quick, done kind of suddenly we succeed. No, I kind of feel it's like you're cleaning the house, and the house is full of dust and mud and bugs and all kinds of things. You basically just have to go into the darkest corner to be that vacuum cleaner and just to absorb whatsoever. And you have to clean it bit by bit, and you have to clean each corner. You cannot expect suddenly, at least at this phase, I feel on this 3D world, like it just goes through the 3D pace that is bit by bit. You see that more light is penetrating, that less that is darkness, more that is clarity and consciousness and more love. And and you see yourself growing, like this plant and grow into the earth. And it takes time because when it comes to a plant, right, it always just grows really slow. It just that's its pace, but it never stops. It's always growing. Howsoever, it might go into wrong directions, but eventually it is growing. And for me, what I really feel I realize is that more darkness I'm being through, more suffering I'm being through, and more mistakes I'm making in my life. Like there's something which is it's always positive. It's something it's eventually going to inevitably going to the same direction that is going deep within myself is to find that love and strength. And more I'm finding that love and strength, more compassionate I'm having toward everybody. Right? Everybody. Whether there are people who are treating you nice or there are people who don't treat you very nice, you just start to really love them howsoever they are, because the behaviors they're having on you is not something new anymore. You're starting to accept it as it is, and you're strong enough to stand still strong there to experiencing the same thing, the same unpleasant experiences. And for you, it's not something new or something spooky or something painful anymore. You can still hold that space, right? So that's the time you don't really mind whether you are in darkness or you're in mud. or anywhere. You just there for people, and you don't expect people to like you or don't like you or hurt you or don't hurt you. And you're just gonna be that because you're gonna love them anyway. Right? And that's the time I feel, wow, I deeply feel like more less fear and more really deep connection with people, and also start to understand from their perspective, right? When they're not light workers, when they just want to survive in this world, they have to kind of behave in a certain way just to go by each day. It's not easy for them. When I think about this, I will start to realize that I can totally understand from the perspective what I need to insist is still something I need to insist. And howsoever I'm gonna be challenged, howsoever I'm gonna be challenging people, making people uncomfortable, and that is my job, right? If they're feeling comfortable and I'm not doing the right job, I'm not doing my work well, they need to be triggered. That's the time they wake up. I don't poke you, you're still in your sleepy state, right? So my job is to trigger people and get triggered. It's not a comfortable job at all, but that's the way out. That's the way out, right? So I just realized it so strongly is that it's not time to please people, to fall into their way of living life, because apparently it doesn't go anywhere. It's just gonna remain the same, right? Because I have been very easy to just go follow other people's ideas rather than my own, rather than anchoring myself. And it really doesn't go anywhere, right? In the end, still, I just need to go in my way, howsoever it is. And people love it because when I'm holding that space, the energy field that I'm creating is much more tons, more dreamy, higher frequency than the other energy field that people have created. I don't have to hesitate to not create that just because I want to be nice to other people. That's not really nice. That's not good. It's maybe nice but not good, right? And yeah, I want to say I started to have more this desire to be with people, to really connecting with people. Before I have such a long period of time I just wanted to be a hermit, and I still very much enjoy being a hermit, but more and more I'm like, I want to be with people because that creating this intensity, creating this present moment where I have to be able to be very strong on my own, to be very alert, to be very present in our moments, rather than dreaming or doping away or just being sleepy and then fall into this comfort zone, right? Yeah, and I think that two ways you see people, you either love them or you like them, right? I kind of feel with people around me, I have loved them. I have loved people because I am love. I feel I always love people because everybody is a divine soul. That deep down we're also connected. Right? So it's impossible that when you are embodying love that you don't love other people. You always love everybody. You can't help it. So that has been my state for a long time, for many years. When I discovered this unconditional love energy inside of me, that's another way. It's about you like a person or not, right? I think I have never really liked anybody from my surroundings so far. Only recently, I think I start to like them a lot because I think they're more leveling up, leveling up from their understanding and becoming more friendly and loving toward the direction that I am at, and they're also accepting more, whether they want it or not, of how the way I am. So I kind of feel it's much easier to connect with them than before. And because I sort of also start to understand from their perspective, and I'm pouring more and more compassion toward them, and I start to feel, yeah, I think I can start to like them a lot more. And I can feel I'm less afraid. And actually, that just very interesting people in a way, because it's always a very surprising day when I'm with them. Well, when I'm just be on my own, right? I can totally enjoy myself when I'm on my own, and I can do a lot of creative things. But being with people is always something much more intensive, much more surprising. A lot of things happen, so I should say, in such a way, I do appreciate them in my life, whether they're like friends or enemies, you know. This other day, there was one day I was like, oh my god, that was like such a shitty day. And I was sitting there, I didn't feel like to do anything. And I was like, wow, the surroundings all around, it wasn't really, friendly. But I'm like, yeah, that's the fun part of it. If it's all nice, if it's all friendly, then what are those adventures? Like, what are all those dramas, right? Who is gonna make that day, Like, who is gonna be the great, strong warrior to fight that battle? So enemies are important in that movie. If there's no the other side, then what is the point, right? And especially when I just feel I don't really care anymore. So that's the time I was like, okay, whatsoever, guys, come with your guns, come with your weapons, come with your darkness, penetrate. I'm just gonna be here anyway. Yeah. And yeah, that's the time I'm like, okay, guys, I'm just enjoy it. I'm just enjoy this moment, like, whosoever is coming, right? Whether it's a friend or it's an enemy or whosoever, like, coming closer, like, I'm just always here because I just feel I'm just here holding that space. It's just my ability, right? I'm just here. I'm just this super empty space, right? It doesn't really matter whether you're light or dark anymore. I'm just gonna be here, and whosoever is welcome. And when you're actually really opening yourself up vulnerably, even if there comes weapons and guns, you're still just standing there super soft and vulnerable with no defensiveness. And that is the time that actually there is no resistance, or there's no a strong fighting other side anymore. So when I was thinking this, I suddenly just feel, hey, come on, it is not a game of a whole humanity. Yes, it is. It is so. We got so many people, millions of people on the planet, and this is a very big process of liberating the whole planet, and it's so grand and it is huge. But at the end of the day, it's a one-person game. Because for each one of us, we're the only driver of our own seats, the only driver of our own car, and we can only see this world from our own perspective, right? When you're really focused, when you're really centering yourself, you realize that everybody else is just a mirror of your own self, and there's nobody else. There's only yourself who is playing this game, right? And when we are in a relationship, this is the hardest time to realize this point that we're actually alone. We think we're in a relationship, we fall into that, we enjoy that, but sometimes we really get lost. In relationship, we lose ourselves, right? But actually, at the end of the day, that is just one person game. So when you are being defensive, you just need to realize that it's not really necessary to be defensive, because the other side is just your mirror. And if you're being defensive, that means you're basically fighting with yourself. So there's no need. And then you might ask this question, you say, then why, when I loosen down, why on the other side there's still so many people who are being very, very rude or not nice or unfriendly? Why? Well, it's just unconsciously deep inside your inner space. There's still so much space needs to be cleared up, needs to be filled with love, needs to embrace this brave vulnerability to face howsoever situation. So if that situation has created this defensiveness either in you or in the other side, it simply means that area needs to be resolved, needs to be addressed, and next time it's gonna get better. Right? So at the end of the day, it is a one-person game. So there's nobody else to blame. You can totally blame the other person. You can do that as your free will. But yeah, that's the time you're basically choose to play that game of blaming. But that is a game you're playing, because the fact is that there's basically no one you should be blaming, because they are just you, right? Than yourself. So it's better to choose to love them howsoever they are than to be defensive, according to me. And I think this is a very it is a very feminine approach so far that I'm using. I think it's just tons of more interesting than being super strong person, especially when I'm a woman. Like, I'm so used to using my masculine side to deal with the world. And now I'm like, hey, I actually quite enjoy just being very soft to connect with everybody. But it's kind of like everybody, Like, people are talking about boundaries, and sometimes I'm like, well, I think the strongest version is not really being that you're super boundary, right? So we have a strong boundary, and then nobody is able to penetrate you. I think, yeah, that's the kind of very masculine way. But sometimes I kind of do decide just to use the feminine way to connect with people, which is just more compassionate, I feel. Like, you're not like saying that I'm this super big emperor or I'm this super big tower and people look up to. It's more like you just come down to the earth to be that with people, and even that being not nice, even that they're not being friendly, you're still like just holding a space for them, and you really just embrace them howsoever the way they are, even if they're attacking you, right? Even if they are doing all kinds of things, you're like, I'm just opening up myself, I'm just here holding that space, right? Just like a tree, like you see the tree, that maybe the tree is growing in the city and every day the tree is absorbing a lot of pollution, but the tree is not complaining, right? The tree is not saying, hey guys, I had enough of you guys, I'm just gonna die. No, the tree is always there, standing super strong, absorbing all the dark and then transcend it into beautiful flowers and oxygen. And I think that's what light workers, that's what we're doing. And it's not necessarily you have to be a very tough warrior and fighting with weapons and guns, because I think those things only it has created a lot of wars in our worlds, right? Because we all think that we have that right to fight and we don't care whether we're gonna hurt people or not. So the biggest love and compassion is that even if people are not being nice, or you have 1,000 reasons to fight, you decided not to fight. You decided to hold the space. You decided to understand from the other person's perspective that they are just being unconscious. If you were them, probably you would do the same thing, right? So just understand, just be compassionate and hold that space. That's a real strength. If you can hold that space, if everyone is fighting around, and then you can still hold that space, you're not like joining a fight or feeling like a victim or just run away. You just be there and hold that space. That's what Jesus has done, right? Jesus has hold that space, right? Yeah, this is what I want to say. Like, Jesus allowed people just to literally put him on a cross and nailed him to death and watching him to bleed to death. And he wasn't escaping, he wasn't shouting, he wasn't yelling, he wasn't complaining. He just was that, hold that space for people when people were all doing that very unconscious shit towards him, and he was able to be that, just to hold that space, to watch that whole process of himself dying by being tortured. And when I think about it, I'm like, this is real love, and this is how Christ's energy has changed the world. It's by showing and prove to the whole world where there's no love that there is love, because this love is a real one. It is so unconditional. It is that even if you're killing me, even if you're just watching me to die, I'm just gonna be that, because my love is stronger than death. It's beyond death. And that's the truth. That's the true light. Right? So this is the love and the light message that I've been sharing today with you guys. And this is how the truth, love, and light is gonna change the world. It is beyond what normal people could trust or believe. Like, if from your mind you wouldn't believe, what is this? Because it's not something tangible, something material that you can hold, right? It is far more beyond it. it is far more, tons of times beyond what you believe is true. So if you're using your mind, you're never gonna understand. But when you really see how it is going, and it is inevitably penetrating your body now, every second this light is penetrating your body, it is forcing you to change, it is clearing out the dark, and is penetrating, anchoring more light into your body. Howsoever, because the light is so strong, it's stronger than that dark, it's stronger than that fear, it's holding that space. Howsoever, it's when you are attacking, when you are killing, it is forever that, holding that space. And that's the light we're anchoring here on planet Earth. And it is undefeated. This light is undefeated because it's so beyond. It is the sky. It is the sky, howsoever there are clouds, howsoever there are lightning to thunders, but the sky is always behind. So that's the sky is where the truth is. So if everybody, we decided to link ourselves with that sky, which is beyond all the illusions, we're gonna be we free ourselves so much from the planets, from all kinds of rules and restrictions, from all kinds of reasons to not love each other, from all kinds of reasons to fight with each other, to control other people, to start a war. When you can link yourself with that sky, you're coming out of the darkness. You start to really enjoy. It takes a lot of courage. It takes many sufferings and bad experiences, but it is basically inevitable. Everybody, we're all just experiencing our tower moments at the moment, whether we want it or not. But anyway, I've been sharing a lot. It's been a long time, and I really enjoy this sharing. And there are deep messages within. So I hope, I wish, I would love to that you have received howsoever the messages that I'm delivering. And I send you all my love. I will see you next time. Bye.